Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Saskatoon Roller Derby League's open season for 2018. We got a good night of roller derby happening. We had our junior game already today. We're getting ready now for our Killa Bees going up against the Highway 14 Bulldozers. Behind me right now, they're all getting ready, so we're gonna have a good game. Just a couple seconds, we'll get right at her. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Saskatoon Roller Derby League's open season, our second game of the day, our first day of roller derby this year. My name is Fat Boy. I've got sitting alongside of me
Chesty LaRue.
And we're gonna call your game today our Saskatoon Roller Derby League Killa Bees going up against Highway 14 Bulldozers, and the action's already started on the track. Jamming right now, AK Demented's going to be going for the Highway 14 Bulldozers, going against Dark Wheel Duck, who just tried one good apex jump. Unfortunately, he didn't quite land.
Not successful.
Where he needed to, he was going to be forced back. AK Demented now has 5 points. Dark Wheel Duck was able to grab 4 on that one. AK Demented knocked to the inside, forced to reset. Sees Dark Wheel Duck coming back, so she calls that one off before it can happen. Here we go. First game of the year for Saskatoon Killa Bees. It's an exciting year, Chesty, isn't it, for Saskatoon Roller Derby League?
It is a very exciting year. This is the 11th year for the league, and we are officially a part of the Women's Roller Derby Flat Track Association.
That is such a huge deal. That is an international organization. That's what governs roller derby for the women's flat track. Now back onto our flat track. Shock jamming for the Highway 14 Bulldozers. He was able to take lead jam very quickly. Going for Saskatoon's Killa Bees right now, you've got number 5-6 Bangarang. Somewhere in the commotion, Irish has been issued a penalty. She's going to have to go sit down for 30 seconds in that box. Of course, with the penalties, right, 30 seconds inside that box. Along with the penalties, we also have, you know, if a jammer ends up getting a penalty. You can't have 2 jammers in the box at the same time, right? So, if one jammer goes to the penalty box and sits for 10 seconds, the second jammer gets to come free. Isn't that right, Chesty?
That is correct. It just doesn't work. We have to have somebody on the track scoring points.
And of course, the jammers are those lovely people that have those stars on their head. So that is Hurlwind jamming for the...
Looks like Terror just got lead jam.
Terror did get lead jam, and she's jamming for the Killa Bees. Hurlwind jamming for the Bulldozers. Coming back up to the track now, Pterodactyl running that inside line, tries to hop it, catches her foot inside, so she's going to get forced back. Hurlwind was able to make it through. That's going to get an initial pass completed. Now, Terror still fighting, taking a little bit of bumps and bruises there as she knocked over. Hurlwind comes up, tries to go side to side Mad Max. Now Reese is dragging her back, knocks Hurlwind over. Terror working at the front, knocked out there by 1-1 the Herminator. Working there with Dirty V, making it very difficult for Terror to get anywhere. But successfully, Terror did get through, grabs 5 points. Hurlwind was able to grab 4 of her own. Hurlwind got just a little bit farther ahead than Terror wanted, so she called that one off. A very successful strategy. It is chilly here, folks. Chilly. We're sitting in the Archibald Arena here in Saskatoon, which, you know, it's not quite warm enough. It's April. You'd think it would be a little warmer.
You would think it would be a little bit warmer out. I think they just took the ice out, I want to say like a week or so ago, so yeah. There's a lot of freezing still coming out of the cement.
I'm sitting here with gloves on in the whole 9 yards as we're watching this one. I don't know how the players on the track stay so warm. But we've got Gnarly Quinn now jamming for the Killa Bees. And I'm not sure what happened there, but AK Demented jamming seems to be the first one, but she does not have lead jam.
I'm thinking she got a no point, no pass on her initial there.
So AK able to get past this time, so she was able to grab that 4 points. So Gnarly having completed her initial pass. That gives her lead jammer, even though she was not able to get out in front. Dark Wheel Duck with a little bit of hips in the way as AK Demented gets knocked out.
And now she has a penalty for a track cut.
So AK trying to call that off there before Gnarly could come in and score any points, but because of the cut track and receiving the penalty, she was not able to call it off. Of course, that's what the jammer's doing when they're doing that hip tap, or as I like to call it, that hip flap, you know, kind of flying away. Just like that, as Gnarly Quinn goes flying on the outside. Ooh, she gets a little bit of air time there, big hit.
Ouch.
She's still fighting one-on-one there, but she was able to get past. I do believe that was 519 Melkery who knocked Gnarly flying there. So the Killa Bees now setting up an offensive here with their blockers. Gnarly running right into the backside of Calypso there. Back on the track now, AK Demented going up against both Scar.
I'm not sure who's there, yeah.
I think that was Scar and Daphne. No, that's not Scar, that's Amanda Destroyer. And Leanderthal was trying to chase down Gnarly Quinn as she managed to get through, grabs 5 points on that grand slam. AK Demented with some quick footwork there, follows that inside line. And the whistles blow, the jam goes. Of course, in the sport of roller derby, Chesty, you play with the Saskatoon's Mindfox team. That's the WIFTA charter team.
Yes, I do. I do play with both, but this year they have moved me up to a jammer, so they really did not want me tired for the next game.
There you go.
Yes.
So I've recruited Chesty here. She's my co-announcer for the day, which is great because myself, I'm just an announcer, I don't play, so she gets a little bit of an inside advantage, some things that I might not know or realize about playing the sport.
I tend to watch before I want to talk, so.
We will get her all figured out now, but we do have a foot race here as Shock has lead jam for the Highway 14 Bulldozers. Show me your hits, trying to catch up with him there. He takes the inside, Shock on the outside. Shock comes around the outside.
0 points, 0 points.
It was a quick one. That one hit it. And Shock did manage to pick up 1 point.
Did he get one? He got one.
You know, and that's a strategy we see lots on the higher level teams of 1 point, 2 point jams, trying to keep the others scoreless. Can't get a runaway lead if you're only getting 1 or 2 ahead.
But even still, 1 or 2 points adds up. You get 1 or 2 points on top of the other person every jam, you're going to be winning very quickly.
Especially when that other jammer isn't able to grab any points,
exactly.
as we saw there for Show Me.
Yeah.
Now, who do we got going here? Pterodactyl jamming for the Killer Bees.
Kerwin just took lead.
Terror goes to the inside. Hurlwin following that inside line as she comes back around. Terror knocked out, getting dragged back there by 5-5. Leanderthal. Hurlwin's still stuck there now. We did have a star pass.
Yeah, star pass there. They passed, Pterodactyl passed it to 666 Melraiser.
And of course, the star is the designator for what the jammer is. The jammer being the person on the track who can score points. The pivot, the person with the stripe on their head, Leanderthal being the pivot for the Highway 14 Bulldozers right now, is able to take that star and then start gaining the points instead of the retired jammer, shall we say. So Melraiser able to get through, completes her initial pass. Going through, calm jam goes dead. Score now 31 for the Bulldozers, Killa Bees 19 as we set up for this next jam. So we've now talked that the people with the stars are the jammers, they score the points. How do they score the points though, Chesty?
So they score a point by passing the hips of the opposing players. So, I mean, you see some scores that are like 300-400 points. It's a lot of laps they have to do to get those points. And for the most part, there's usually only probably 3 to 4 jammers on each team. Basically, the Killa Bees is more of a developmental team, so they encourage everybody to jam. So you'll see a few different ones for the Killa Bees up there.
A little bit more rotation for the Killa Bees. Right now we've got Dark Wheel Duck jamming and AK Demented for the Highway 14, who again grabs into that pack, tries to pass as many hips, and I'm looking for the score, but I don't think I caught it in time. But again, try and grab as many points as you can, call it off before the other team can grab any. Or in this case, judging by the score, scoreless. You're not going to get any farther. Nobody gets the score.
Points, yeah.
Lining up now. And unfortunately, we did have a mishap with the jersey, so the numbers aren't quite right on some of them. So we're a little hesitant to call by the numbers today. We're trying to make sure we've established who's who, as we've got bodies kind of falling to the floor here.
So both teams, actually, their primary color is yellow. So it was a little miscommunication there. So
Pippi Longstocking's jamming for the Killa Bees. She did get a little bit of a whip there. I believe it was off Irish. And she was able to come out first, get that lead jam. Shock's not slowing down. He's just piling the coal on. And we got more bodies going to the floor. Shock takes advantage of it as it comes from the inside through the outside, grabs some points. In a foot race with Savage. He's going to get ahead of him. That grabs him 4 points. Of course, Pippi Longstocking not far behind her, grabs another 4 of her own. Pippi calls it before Shock can get in there and grab any more. You can see Coach Cowboy there congratulating his team as they come in, obviously impressed with their performance on that last jam. Now lining up here.
There's one thing you might see the Killa Bees doing is we kind of want to be the team with the most high fives. We're not going to be the team that wins, but we want to be the team with the most high fives. So you'll see a lot of high fives being given.
Making sure that camaraderie, that spirit is there, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic.
It's been voted on that everybody gets to have equal game time, and whether you're good or bad or whatever, anywhere in between, you get to be on the track just as much as some of the veteran skaters are.
Fantastic. Now, we do have Whirlwind jamming for the Highway 14 Bulldozers. Scar Little Fira jamming for the Killa Bees. She was issued a penalty. That means 30 seconds in the box. Now, Whirlwind has the chance for a power jam. This situation is fantastic for the jammer on that Highway 14 team because, right, all you have to do is pass the opposing hips. So if a penalty is called and one of the players is sitting in the box, all you have to do is pass the first set of hips and you automatically score the points for the players in the box.
Yeah.
So that means passing 3 sets of hips now scores Whirlwind 5 points.
Yep.
Right there, she's got her 5. Now we do have returning back to the track, Spasmanian Devil. Ooh, Reese getting right in the way for an apex jump there. Not quite as effective, I think, as she had hoped. Now Scarlett on the track trying to get through. Gets past Spasmanian Devil, so that completes her initial pass. You have to complete an initial pass. Right off the get-go, the first pass determines who is going to be the scoring jammer. Once you complete that initial pass, then you can start racking up those points. And today, you know, it's fantastic, you know. Thankfully, we have a ton of sponsors here with Saskatoon that are able to help us perform these events and put these on. And one of the big ones, Alchemy Collective, is here today. Not only are they fully sponsoring our street team this year, you can catch those around as the year goes on, but they're also a clothing and salon store here in Saskatoon with a unique fusion of artistry and style, a collaboration of fashion design, hairstylists, tattoos, and piercings. And while we're talking about designs and piercings, down on the floor, Deathnella was knocked over there. AK Demanded jamming for the Highway 14 All-Stars. She was able to get through, completes her initial busts pass, gets 5 points on the Grand Slam as Deathnella hadn't quite made it out of the pack yet. So she's setting up again, runs into Gnarly Quinn there.
Oh.
Dark Wheel Duck gets in the way of AK, trying to get a cut track called on her, but an unsuccessful bid. Now AK is able to grab another 5 points as she rolls through. Deathnella fighting here to get by. She gets out, gets her initial pass completed with a, looks like a forearm penalty being called to one of the Bulldozers. So AK Demanded now working and trying to get through. Dark Wheel Duck with the push out. And 1-5 getting a clockwise block violation. Calypso is going to go sit down here.
So Duck is calling for a challenge, I believe.
It looked like that's what he might be looking for. Waiting to see if it comes about. Yes.
Yes.
Blondie's got her hand up, one of the bench coaches there for Saskatoon's Killa Bees. So we're going to have an official review. Now, Chesty, what exactly is an official review?
So it's basically, they're challenging some of the actions of another player or a call even possibly that was just made. I'm pretty sure is what they're going to do here is the AK Demented stepped back in the track here and then was trying to try and call it off as she was already hit out and was cutting the track on Duck, I believe. I think that's what they're calling. I think.
And can you explain that penalty? Why? What's the issue with that? What's Duck looking for?
So I mean, if you get knocked out in front, or if you get knocked out by somebody, you have to come, or you have to enter the track in behind them. Otherwise, you'll get a penalty because you have gained position on the opposing player.
Okay, so let's see what happens here. Hopefully, we get a result of this. Of course, while this happens, you know, again, like I was saying, we have so many fantastic sponsors. We've also got Escape Sports. You know, they've been sponsoring us for a number of years in Saskatoon here. They're our local store. They've got everything.
Yes, they do. They have everything and then some.
Exactly. You know, I went in there the other day, slacklining. They have these giant, like, unicycle off-road, like, it's the stuff they got there. It's fantastic. So we really want to give a huge shout out to Escape Sports for all they've done for us. It's absolutely fantastic. As all our referees there are doing their thing, of course. You know, it's really hard to play roller derby without the officials. So we'd like to kind of introduce you to some of them today. So for our Killa Bees game.
So for the Killa Bees game is Hang 11 is I think he's the head ref.
That's correct.
For this one, and then I can't tell who. There's IPR is Kami, which is inside pack ref, and then there's jam refs are Ann Slaughter and Bad Brand, and then we have OPR is Arc and Road Rash, and Koopa, and Lady is the alt. You can probably see her in there with notch stripes on right now.
And OPR being our outside pack refs, and of course.
Sorry, yes, outside pack refs.
Such important people here, and you know, it's really hard to play any game without some form of a rule structure. And
yes, it is.
We are very fortunate in Saskatoon to have a very strong and really well-recognized group of referees.
We are very lucky here. Actually, one of our main refs is actually in Barcelona right now. He has he's reffing the Men's World Cup right now. So shout out to Kurt So Good out there in Barcelona. He's probably one of the ones that with Hang 11 that's been around probably the longest. We're very lucky to have that level of reffing in Saskatoon, for sure.
We are so fortunate. And a mention on Barcelona, actually, right now there with him is his wife, Curb So Good, one of the players for the Mind Fox, who, believe it or not, all the way in Barcelona is going to be watching this game today live on Shaw TV Saskatoon's Facebook page. So anybody out there right now watching, hello, we see you.
Hi, guys.
We thank you for coming and watching the show today. We hope you're enjoying everything so far, as we're 15 minutes, 39 seconds into the game so far, with the Bulldozers in the lead at 60 and Saskatoon Killa Bees at 27. It's going to be a good day of roller derby. The juniors played earlier today. It was a fantastic game. I love watching the juniors.
It's so sweet watching the juniors because like they're trying so hard, and it's like they're hardly moving on the track, but they're just giving it their all. It's so sweet.
It's fantastic to watch those skaters, as you know that they are the future of the league. They are going to be, you know, in 5-10 years from now, they're going to be the ones playing for the Bees.
Yeah, like Kirby. She actually was one of the very first juniors to actually age out and move up to the Saskatoon team. And we actually have Abolisher that'll be playing on the Mind Fox, and Hayner that actually aged out of the junior league and moved up. We also have Skidlet that just recently has moved up as well. So we're pretty lucky that we have somewhere for them to go.
It is fantastic. Now, back on the track, we got the action going, and I notice we are short a jammer for the Bulldozers, so I'm going to assume that the
They must
challenge
have won
was
the
successful.
challenge. Yeah, I guess so.
Show me your hits is jamming right now for the Killa Bees. He completes his initial pass, remember?
It looks
only
like
has to pass
Highway
one
14
player.
there, too, is down a few blockers as well.
Holy smoke. So now, remember, all 2 people. He gets all 3 points for the players over in the penalty
So
box.
he's, yep.
And just
got
like
5.
that, see, 5 points for show me your hits.
And
Of
they got
course.
another blocker going to the box.
Now we got the jammer back on the track for the Bulldozers, and it looks like they're going to get one of their blockers as well. Show me able to get another 5 points as he rounds that.
So Shomi is actually not an official member of SRDL. He's kind of an honorary member. He joins us when he was taking his schooling all the time. He just actually finished his journeyman in, I believe he's in agriculture, like that. But he's left us. He has moved to Calgary, Red Deer area-ish. So
That's
he's an
fantastic to have him
honorary SRDL member.
That's always good to see people coming back and
Yeah.
playing and continuing. You know, it's such a community. We can't speak enough about that with the Saskatoon Roller Derby League. It is a community first and foremost.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I've had like issues in other towns, and I'm like, oh my God, I need a mechanic, and it's like, oh, so-and-so, no, so-and-so, and you're taken care of.
So now we've got Melrazor, Reese, and Scarlet Ophira blocking up against Shock. Melrazor able to get Shock out, dragging him back as he's jamming for the Bulldozers. And running away in lead jammer for the Killa Bees.
Isn't she? Oh, no. Yes, she is. Mad Max got lead.
Mad Max got lead.
Yeah.
And Mad Max seeing Shock go in there, tries calling it off. So she's not going to grab any there. Waiting to see what Shock's going to grab for points.
I don't think any.
Doesn't look like it. Not right now, anyways.
This is very confusing for me. I was expecting Saskatoon to be in yellow and Highway 14 to be in black. I'm used to playing with my yellow people, so I'm like, oh, who's where? Who's that?
It is a little bit confusing today, but you know what? I think we're managing pretty good, Chesty. All right, here we go. So what do we got? Dark Wheel Duck now jamming for the Killa Bees.
And he
Busting right
just
up in
got
front.
lead. Oh, pile up down there.
Pile up that first corner. Yeah, now going up against Hurlwind now, one-on-one with Gnarly Quinn. Pterodactyl and Man Destroyer, they're trying to keep
nice little
Hurlwind
dip.
back.
Yeah, he snuck around them and
Too busy looking at everything else. Didn't even see Dark Wheel Duck come around for his 5 points.
yeah.
It looks like Guttershy is going to come back on the track. I think that should be full strength now for the Bulldozers.
No, they got another one heading to the box now.
Look at that, I spoke too soon. Now there was a formidable tripod there, but Hurlwind was able to get through.
You know, and that's actually one thing that can really make or break a game is if your blocker's spending too much time in the box, I mean, you can be getting the points, but the jammer can be as well.
Oh, and there was a good hit there as they come around that corner. Little jammer on jammer action. You can see the smile on Dark Wheel Duck as he's coming to the bench. I think he enjoyed that one.
It's probably the only sport where you get to hit people and not get in trouble for it.
There's not many, and I think the people that play it enjoy that reasoning for sure. All right, now I think we've got Bangarang going to go up against AK Demented.
As I'm like leaning over here trying to see who's jamming. I'm like, we have a little screen here in front of us.
This is Chesty's first time announcing, let alone on broadcast, so I think she's doing a fantastic job thus far.
I was given about 5 minutes notice going, we need you.
Everything's working awesome. Bangarang now on the inside. She's having a hard time getting there by Dirty V and Leanderthal. I believe that's Herminator that might be giving her a hard time too. While I'm looking over there, Show Me Your Hits and Savage are in a foot race trying to
catch that AK Demented, yes.
But the no pack is called. That means that they've reached their 20-foot span. They have to give up the chase and reform that pack. That allows AK Demented to get free.
Bangarang just got out of the pack there.
Ooh,
nice little pop with Irish there to the inside.
Irish seems to tend to kind of get in the way like that, doesn't she?
She kind of seems like she's got the sixth sense. She's always kind of in the right place at the right time to give that jammer an extra little pop.
Unfortunately, I think she got the penalty on the pop as Irish kind of went to the bench there.
I'm thinking that may have been a forearm or directional.
And now a forearm being just like in other sports, you can only make contact with certain areas to certain areas. So explain to me, a forearm penalty. What have I done wrong, Chesty?
So you're like, I'm terrible because I get horrible forearms. You're pressing off of the person. You're using your forearm to gain position, basically. So you can hit with your forearm if it's connected to your body and you don't extend your arm. But the moment you extend your arm, you're getting a penalty.
There you go. So that's more than likely what Irish got there. And Shock looked like a knife through butter, through that pack like nothing. So he's got lead jam. Reese now wearing the star for Saskatoon, going up against Vintage Vixen there. Not getting very far, struggling there as long with Bruise Cruz, knocked to the inside Reese, so she's forced to reset.
Oh, somebody's getting another forearm penalty. Oh, Melcree is going to the box for a forearm.
Now, while that's happening, Shock grabbed 5 more points. I tell you, he's quick, he's got speed.
He's
wow.
quick, yeah.
Reese still struggling to get through there. Oh,
no.
no.
Star pass.
Star pass, so we've got Scarlet O'Fear now. I don't think she noticed Shock coming up on her backside there as he stormed past her. So Shock's gonna come into this pack with speed. Mad Max and Reese go for it, but he beat him on the outside. Yeah. Grabbed the points, put his hands on his hips. That blows the whistles, grabs another 4 points on that one. We got 9 minutes and about 15 seconds left. Highway 14 Bulldozers at 81, the Killa Bees at 54. So we're starting a little short here. Killa Bees only have Dark Wheel Duck and
I think Destroyer is who it is, yeah.
And who do we got jamming? Pterodactyl for the Killa Bees versus Whirlwind. Calypso throws that backside out, trying to stop Pterodactyl, who then gets hit by Herminator, knocked to the inside. Dark Wheel Duck pushes Whirlwind out. He goes back to try and goat the cut track out of the play. Pterodactyl having a hard time, but she gets some help from Irish there as she's able to bust out, takes lead jam. Dark Wheel Duck again.
Whirlwind is struggling to get through the pack there.
And Duck's having a one-on-one now with her as Pterodactyl comes on the inside. Gets a little caught up now with Melcree and I believe that was Calypso, along with 25 Dirty V. Pterodactyl knocked out, forced back.
Highway 14 has another one blocker in the box.
Having some trouble getting through there, still pushing hard. Now she's stuck up against Mel Razor for Whirlwind's competition. Pterodactyl bounces off Melcree, goes to the outside, he's gonna get dragged back. And that is a cut track penalty issue to Pterodactyl.
Yes.
Working on the inside, Man Destroyer goes down. I think in the process that knocked out Whirlwind, so she's forced to come back. Again, Dark Wheel Duck. You see that often where they'll skate back and try and drag. You cannot enter the track before anybody that was ahead of you. You cannot gain position.
You cannot gain position, yeah. One of the things is when you're hit on the inside, you can actually come in, like if you're hit out on the far side of the track, you can actually come in completely on the other side, because on the inside of the track, it's like there's no direction. So when you, I mean, yeah, you want to hit them out, but you also, there's a little bit more benefit to hitting a person to the outside of the track versus the inside, because they have to come back in behind you.
There you go. Now, the Herminator, there was a star pass, so he's jamming now for the Bulldozers. Taking the outside, running hard at it. As Duck comes around, the two of them give each other a high five. Yeah, and again, we spoke about community, and this, I can't stress enough how much I love to see two jammers line up on the line, and they're giving each other that dirty look, and they're ready to go. Yeah, there's a timeout or something called, the music starts, and they both just start dancing.
Or I've even like on the jam line, I'm like, hey buddy, we give each other a big hug, and we like, okay, now we jam, and I'm gonna hit you now.
There you go, and see, we got the timeout's been called. I believe it was charged to the Killa Bees. So, oh, maybe not. Either way, in the event of a timeout, we have a little bit of time to sit and chat here, think about our lives, or more specifically, let's think about what's happening on the track. We have seen some fantastic play already. Lots of strategy.
Lots of strategy, yes.
You know, and the tripods have been very good today. Both teams have put up some very good tripods. Yes. And really kind of sandwich that jammer in there, not letting him bust through.
And that's kind of like what Derby's kind of turned towards more is, like, you look even like 3 years ago, it was like big whopping hits and big swooping hits and just like hammering the person. And there was so many incredible injuries, concussions, you name it, versus now it's more going towards like you'll see still those. There's those people that do the big hits. You'll see those still, but it's more like grabbing that jammer, containing them, holding them, getting them tired. Because let's face it, I jam and it sucks when you get stuck. Somebody hits me, that lights my fire, and it makes me work harder. So it's really changing. Every year it almost is changing.
And it's fantastic because it changes the sport in such a good way. And, you know, we spoke about Saskatoon now being part of the WFTDA, Women's Flat Track Derby Association. And that's part of it. And that allows us to play international level games now. And hopefully we can play one day in a WIFTA sanctioned tournament. Sorry, not a tournament, but a playoff game.
There is playoffs and things like that. It would be really cool to be able to get to that level. Hopefully, one day we will be able to. Right now we're just we got to make our mark right now.
You betcha. And this today is the perfect way to get there.
Highway 14 Jammers going to the box.
That means Pippi Longstompings no longer has to contend with AK Demented, as she's going to have herself a power jam. This is an excellent chance if she can get some offense from her team and try and rack those points up there.
Ooh, she just snuck past on the outside line.
She didn't even need the offense there. She had that one cased all on her own. That's an easy 5 points for Pippi Longstockings. Now you can see that offense start as they all start piling him to the inside. She takes that, grabs the outside, grabs the points, but looks like
Joey's going to the box.
Now they're telling Pippi Longstockings to call it because AK Demented came on the track, but she keeps rolling.
But I don't think she realizes that she has the lead jam.
No, she might not.
She might not.
Now AK Demented back on, kind of pushes her way between that brace of Bangarang, Malkery, and Deathnella, able to grab 4 points. Of course, now Pippi Longstockings trying to work through. I believe that is Calypso going there with Leanderthal. Not quite allowing her to get through, but sneaking on the inside. AK Demented comes through, grabs another 4. Pippi grabs her 4 as well. Show Me back on the track now. But I think did we lose another one for the Killa Bees? It looks like we're down blockers again.
Oh, nice one. Yeah. Oh, no, we had, yes, Melraiser is in the penalty box, 666.
So another 4 points scored for both those jammers there. And you know what, I feel like we're talking a lot about penalties, and something to note too, this is a really important part, is you're only allowed 7 penalties in a game.
Correct.
That's it, 7 penalties and you're out.
And that's it, yeah, you're out. You're asked to take your gear off. You have to sit, actually, you're allowed to go anywhere the fans are allowed to go, so you cannot return to your bench or anything like that, because if you do return to your bench, you can force a penalty on your captain, and then they will be sitting in the penalty box for you.
That's not necessarily
a good thing. Not cool.
And we do have another official review here, as you can see Reese at the top of the screen there, a little cold, trying to heat up, I think.
It is very chilly in here.
It is. You know, and this is a really good chance again to thank a couple other sponsors as well. We've got Saskatchewan Lotteries is a wonderful sponsor for us. Partnered along with them in the City of Saskatoon's Sask Lotteries Community Grant Program. They're helping SRDL bring people together through sport. We appreciate this grant funding so much. It really allows SRDL to invest in the health, the wellness, and the self-fulfillment of our athletes and our community. And see, there's that word, community again.
Community, yeah. It's
in every aspect of this sport.
It's almost, Rotary is almost like a culture. Like, it's a family. It's crazy. You can go anywhere and you have a place to stay.
I really like the way you said that it's a culture. It really is. I've traveled to Edmonton to announce before, and it was, how can we help you? Where can we find
arms
you a place
wide
to stay?
open. Yeah,
you're one of the family. I've never met any of these people in my life before.
Yeah, and they're like letting a complete stranger in your home, and it's like people don't think twice. It's like, oh, you're in Derby. Okay, go ahead. Here's my house key.
So now we got Shock going to be jamming here for the Bulldozers, and a little bit of confusion. Looks like Savage was jamming for the Killa Bees, but he was given a head block. Reese with that big hit.
You can see Shock just come out with a big smile, like that was a good one.
Shock takes that inside lane. Reese tries to catch him one more time, but she wasn't quite fast enough. Now they're all going to reset. We got Calypso coming back on the track now. As they come around into that fourth corner, Shaw coming in fast. Kind of does a little dupe from the inside to the outside. Doesn't quite lose his footing. Works the inside. That time he lost his footing. I think we had an illegal position penalty. We might have had a couple. Both the pivot for the Killa Bees and one of the blockers for the Bulldozers went to the penalty box. Savage.
There's a whole lot of happening right there, and I'm not sure what went on.
I'm not sure either, but Savage just came back onto the track and was issued a penalty for
again.
cut track.
A cut, yes.
So that's another power jam situation for Shock.
So this is probably one of Savage's like actual very first games. I think he's played a few scrimmages and things like that, but he's actually the husband of one of the girls, Melraiser. So they're actually playing on the track today together, and that's pretty cool.
Shock with some real fancy footwork there coming out of that third corner correction, sorry. Coming back now, inside, outside, working right through. No contact, no nothing. He had her. That's going to grab him for, oh, I think I saw the thumb come up. That's going to grab him 5 points.
Yeah, Jammer's in the box still.
So with that, down to 2 minutes, 108 for the Bulldozers, 80 to the Killa Bees. Something else we want to make mention of this year is Saskatoon Pride is a new sponsorship relationship we have this year, and we are so excited for this. We're going to be at a lot of their events this year. We're going to be hopefully putting out some promotional gear, working with them at their events, and you know, it's a wonderful group of people to have sponsored along here with us. Scarlett O'Fear foot races with Hurlwin. Show Me Your Hits goes after second. He's able to get her out. As Savage comes back on the track and bounces out, collides out of bounds with Hurlwind. Back on the track,
That could have been bad right there. Oh.
Hurlwind had to go behind Show Me Your Hit. Savage was able to get a little bit ahead. Now he's stuck up against that wall there, right there with Bruce Cruz.
And actually, Malcree, you can see playing there for actually Highway 14519. She has actually played with SRDL with the Killa Bees a couple times. We've needed a couple extra people, and she's always stepped up and helped.
Savage able to get through, completes an initial pass. Hurlwind completes her initial pass. She gets lead jammer. Because Savage came out of the box, he's not eligible for that.
Actually, you can.
Ooh.
If you if it's a new jam and you actually enter the track at the start of a new jam, you actually are eligible for to collect lead jam. It's only if you've already been on the track, and you can lose it if you go to the penalty box. You lose the lead jammer status.
See, this is why I bring along announcers that know more than I do, because then at least I learn as it's going on. And
Yeah.
we hope, you know, everybody watching at home too, that you're making sense of this, because we would love to have you come out on April 14th and 15th at our fresh meat recruitment. This is a fantastic chance where you get to try roller derby without having to do
And no
anything.
commitment. No commitment. You don't have to pay anything. We have skates for most everybody. We have gear. Really, the only thing is, like, if you love your teeth, you bring a mouth guard. Other than that, that's the only thing you really need to bring. And you get to come. You get to skate for like a month if you want to try it, and then you can decide if you want to be a part of this awesome community, this awesome family.
And of course, let's say maybe the skating part and the rough contact isn't quite your part, but you want to be on skates, we always need referees.
Always need referees. Hang 11 would love them.
We need referees, we need NSOs, heck,
Yeah.
we even need more announcers. You know, there's only
Yes.
one of me and one of Chesty, so the more of us we have, the better. So, hey, you know, anything you want. If you want to learn about it, come on out, stop by on the 14th to 15th, and
Yeah.
we'd love to see you.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I know even myself. I love helping people. I love seeing people come out and try, and like having the little light bulb moments and seeing people like catch on to things and whatever. It's awesome to see.
As you can see, Otto there is our jam timer standing on the track in the big fluffy black jacket. I think she's enjoying the tunes. It might have something to do with the fact she picked them, but I think she's enjoying
Oh,
them.
did she pick them? Well, good for her. Yeah, she's actually one of our new fresh meats this year.
All it takes is a little bit of a push, and you might find yourself skating one day.
Just a little one.
Just a little. And something we haven't spoke too much on today, but I'd like to speak more on. Al Anderson's has graciously donated the tape for our jammer line today. It's a new style of tape we're hoping to try that's a little more, we're hoping withstands the traction, the friction from the skate. So they
Yeah.
really, it's a huge help that they did, because we don't have a permanent space. So every time we do this, we have to re-tape down that track. And
yeah, and there's specific dimensions too for the track. Like it's not just like, oh, go lay it down and it's fine. It has to be this wide and this long or whatever. There's specific dimensions, and two of the corners are, I guess, a little different, and it makes it a little easier to do apex jumps if that's your thing. A lot of people are not brave enough to try apex jumps, but you'll see a few of them. You've seen a few of them already.
So here we go. Dark Wheel Duck goes in fast and hard. Looks like he's got the power jam situation, so that was allowing his team to skate away, causing a no-pack situation. That means that those blockers at the front have to release. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that was crazy.
I think he heard us talking about apex jumps. That was unbelievable.
Oh,
not quite as successful as he had hoped, but
I swear he was like 3 feet in the air.
I think we just saw a duck fly.
We really did just see a duck fly.
Fantastic. All right, now Dark Wheel Duck going back into that pack, getting joined by Hurlwind. He was able to break through, grabs 5 points on that one. Hurlwind trying that inside line. Pterodactyl and the Herminator having a little bit of shoving match there.
Hurlwind is going to the box. Not sure why.
That's going to give another power jam operation for Dark Wheel Duck as he gets through on the outside, grabs 5 points. Now here we go. They're setting up both sets of those blockers. Herminator's eyeing up with Death Nella there. Tries to take Dark Wheel Duck on one-on-one, but he skates out. Calypso gets just enough of him to knock him to the outside. Dark Wheel Duck in the center there calls that jam off.
That was a pretty successful jam. That was something the Killa Bees needed to get a few more points on the board.
You betcha, that was fantastic. You couldn't ask for a better half of roller derby.
This is like
everything.
Yeah, this is like the best seating ever too.
I think I might have a new announcer. I'm liking this. So as we go into the halftime here, we've got this Highway 14 Bulldozers at 110 and the Saskatoon Killa Bees at 100. We're going to go to halftime
now. Oh, wow. Such a close score.
My name's Fat Boy.
I'm Chessie LaRue.
We'll see you back in a little bit. There we go. We're starting back for our second half here, but first we're going to check out some of the highlights of our first half. Gnarly Quinn there on that inside loop trying to get past. A little bit of fancy footwork there as they get tied up around. Down to the inside, down to the outside, getting through.
Oh, that was a good one.
You know, like, see, and they're just bumping and grinding. There's been a lot of that this game. Look at that. It just, you know, they never give it up. That was that one where Shaw came through, just unobstructed.
Yeah.
Nobody knew he was there.
I've seen AK Demented play actually on a couple different teams. I think she kind of was a little bit of a floater.
She's been really fun to watch today because she really moves around and gets there.
Yeah, she's quick. I was just watching Winnipeg warm up and I was like, holy Dinah, they're fast.
You know, and watching you, the Mind Fox, practice the last little while, I'm starting to get the feeling it could be a quick-paced game.
That terrifies me.
But it's perfect because it's going to be another excellent, excellent game. But right now, let's focus on what we got here. The Killa Bees going up against the Highway 14 Bulldozers, who are here dressed in yellow today. And the Killa Bees dressed in the black. As they just finished their cheering, getting ready to go for this second half. Of course, today being our open season opener. Open season hunting, get it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're so funny. It's
like Show Me's on the line there to jam for the Killa Bees.
And we're going to start this one with a power jam as
Whirlwind is in the box.
Well, Show Me's going to take the outside against Malkery. Malkery's putting up a fight. Show Me kind of steps out, but he maintains. Now while he's over there, getting through on the inside.
He's chasing her down.
Show Me's going to try and put the speed on here as Hurlwind hurls around the track, but calls it off.
With no points. It's funny to watch Show Me skate. It looks like he's like running on skates. I love watching him.
He does have a different mechanic.
Yeah.
But he, you know, when he pulls that sport on, or that pole on,
yeah,
he's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
All right, lining up What do we got going on here? Amanda Stroyer's lining up there. As Dark Wheel Duck comes dancing into your screen.
And who's the jammer for? Oh, Shock is Howie 14's jammer.
Shock was about 20 feet back of that jammer line as he started, trying to get a little momentum. Didn't work enough though as Dark Wheel Duck comes out and lead jam.
Water.
Slow moving into that second corner, but Dark Wheel Duck goes flying. Falls to his knees, starts doing the tap, calls it off, but a couple confused looks going on here.
Did he get any points? He got 4 points, I think.
Looks like it. 4 points, and looks like he might have been able to keep Shock scoreless on that one.
Scoreless, yeah.
And again, here we go with that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah, slowly catching back up. It's going to be a pretty close game. Games like this are awesome to watch. When you see like landslide games, it's kind of like, meh, we knew they were going to win anyway. But I mean, this next game it's all about trying to beat the point spread. So with, ooh.
AK Demented went with a little tumble there. Manages to take that lead jammer as Spasmanian Devil and Guttershy kind of recompose here. The Herminator and Melraiser going one-on-one.
I think she just went a little easy on her there. Melcury and on Tara there. Looks like Tara might be bleeding.
It looks like she definitely felt that one. 4 points picked up by AK Demented as she rounds that second corner. Terror coming into the fourth corner, running right into the back of that yellow wall. Oh! Malcury chases her down, knocks her to the inside, gonna drag her back. Herminator comes in, knocks over Gnarly.
Uh-oh.
Looks like we have an injury on the track.
Uh-oh.
When there are injuries on the track in roller derby, both for the safety of the down skater and the safety of the paramedics, players will immediately take a knee. After they've been called by the officials, they will remove themselves from the track, ensuring that there's a safe working space for the paramedics. And Gnarly's back on her feet as she skates her way back to the bench.
So that's one thing with derbies, because you get a lot of height difference in people. It's really important for tall people to get low when you are going in for a hit, because you can easily hit somebody in the face. And I'm thinking that's what happened, is she kind of caught his shoulder and the chin.
Yeah, and the height difference sometimes can be such a variance. You can get some of these very smaller, little, tiny statured men, women that are playing versus, you know, Irish is a good example. Irish is a tall girl to start with. Then you put her on skates and she's another 6 inches off the ground. Yeah. That's a tall ways up there to put a shoulder.
To be jamming or to be blocking against somebody that's like, you know, 5'9" or 4'9", sorry. Like they're tiny little people.
It's important that they really keep their stature low. Now we got a little bit of show me your hits going through there. 5'5" Leanderthal issued a multiplayer. If you can help me explain this, Chesty, I can't hold you. I can brace with you.
No, you cannot grab and hold. And when the what's the word I'm looking for? When the link, that's the word I'm looking for, is challenged, you have to release it. And if you don't, you will get a multiplayer.
Show me able to grab another 5 points there as he called that one off, being that Leanderthal was sitting in the penalty box. Looks like there might be one other one. The pivot for the Bulldozers, I think, is sitting there as well. There we go. Amanda Stroyer lined up there with the Killa Bees. Death Nella, Scarlet Ophira, Reese, and Dark Wheel Duck blocking for him. Lining up way up there for the Highway 14 Bulldozers. You got Malcury and the Herminator. Malcury right into the chest of Amanda Stroyer, trying to keep her from getting by. Knocks her to the inside, drags her out. Scarlet Ophira is going one-on-one with Shock. Shock now bouncing off Reese. He's going to get through, grab that lead as Amanda Stroyer goes back to the inside, trying to figure out what's going on. She resets.
She's just like, what happened there?
Shock coming back from that second into the third corner, runs into the back of Reese, knocks her down. gets through on the inside. That's going to grab him 5 points. Man Destroyer resetting now. Looks like she's having a little bit of trouble with Mallory again.
Through, yeah.
Vintage Vixen back on the track now.
Nice. Duck just did a little tiny apex jump there. Little step over. And
with the star pass at the same time, so that's going to give him the chance now to try and rack up the points. But Shock, being aware of what's going up on that track, notices, calls that jam off.
Yeah, and see, that's one of the things with doing a star pass is Destroyer hadn't gotten out and gotten her initial pass yet. Shock was going through, getting points. So by her actually passing the star, forced them to call it off, forced them to stop getting points.
And, you know, as much as it is a get points game, it really is a stop the other team
from getting points. Yeah. It's probably one of the very only or very few games where you're kind of playing offense and defense at the same time.
And talking about getting points, we've got AK Demented now, and I believe this is Irish's first time at the jammer line today.
So AK Demented has now is not eligible for lead right at the moment. You can, if you can see in the ref there, did the no point, no pass. So Irish actually is the one that should have lead right now, not AK Demented, because she came in front of Show Me.
As of right now, Ann Slaughter, who is the ref for AK Demented, the jam ref, is showing she has lead. Irish is being shown as second, so both of them coming through that pack with 4 points. Coming back into that corner. Irish taking the inside, AK going to the outside. They're going to call that one off. Ann Slaughter was showing lead for that jam.
Was she was. See, they
and with
whistled
the yellow,
and said no point, no pass.
The refs do seem to be having a conversation here.
Yes. I think yellow might actually be in the penalty, might end up getting a penalty now for calling off the jam when she didn't have lead jam. If that is what happens, I don't know if. Okay, they're just letting it go.
Let it go. Jam starts. Bangarang jamming for the Killer Bees. Going up against, it's hard to see all that body in the way. Hurlwind has got the star. So Bangarang goes past around Spasmanian Devil, Malcree, and Bruise Cruise. Takes the inside, works hard. Right behind her, not quite enough to get lead, but she's going to try and skip ahead of her now.
So Nest, you can see here, she kind of Hurlwind has just stopped trying. She's like, you can go waste your energy. I'll just skate back here and not try and call it off before you get there.
Of course, Bangarang, I'm sure doing that, trying to call that jam off, right? If she can get ahead of her, she knows she's going to call it.
She knows, yeah, because it's the chance of the further back jammer getting points is unlikely.
All right, Dark Wheel Duck's got a star on his head. He's going to be jamming for the Killer Bees here. I think that's Shock I can see with his star. That is, he's going to jam now for the Bulldozers. A little bit of jostling there around that Al Anderson's jam line as they reposition themselves. So Shock stuck there. Death Nella, show me your hits. Man Destroyer's in the mix there, doing their best to keep back Shock. Herminator was one-on-one with Dark Wheel Duck, but Duck won that one, so he got lead jam. But Shock, there he goes with that speed. He's going to catch him quick here. That's a lot of speed to come around those corners in and then try and maintain position as you barrel into a crowd of people.
Yes, and that's one thing you have to be really careful when you're jamming is when you're coming in really fast like that you're not plowing straight into the back of somebody, because you can A, get a back block penalty, but B, you could probably get kicked out of the game for being reckless. So that's something you really need to be careful of.
Everything in Derby has to be controlled.
It's safe,
There's no uncontrollable movement.
Yeah, and that's what the Hang 11 always says. It's like, it's about being safe. What is the safest way?
Gotcha. And you know, that's just it. You have that speed, that's great, but you have to be able to control at that speed. There's that risk there that you have to be aware of.
Yeah.
Now it's Terror's turn to show what she can do as Pterodactyl comes out with lead jam. Bouncing around there, AK Demented. Foot race with Pippi Longstocking, but she gets past her. Pterodactyl coming to the back of that second corner. Up against Guttershy, Bruise Cruise, Vintage Vixen, and Dirty V. Terra gets through, grabs 4 points. AK Demented now bouncing around past Mel Razor. Pippi Longstocking's out there giving her a hand. Irish as well. Savage is in that mix. They did a pretty good job there, but able to take the inside is AK Demented, going to grab 4 points. Pterodactyl now reset from the inside. barrels right into the back of one of those Bulldozer blockers with another apex jump by AK Dement. I can't even count how many apex jumps we've seen today. It's been unbelievable.
And it's like, I know myself jamming, I'm like, I don't want to slow down. I'll just jump then. Not that I ever have, but you don't want to slow down because it's like, oh, then you got to use all that energy to start back up again.
And we have a penalty issue to Pterodactyl. It's a power jam situation now for the Highway 14 Bulldozers. They're going to reset, maybe try some offense here as Mel Razor goes one-on-one with AK Dement, knocks her out. Irish was there giving her some support. Savage and Pippi Longstockings are set up a little further ahead of the rest of those. As Vintage Vixen went in there and gave a little bit of offense, so AK Dement had an easier chance, but she's now stuck between Irish, Savage, and Pippi Longstockings. Mel Razor's resetting. Pterodactyl back on the track now, so she's got the chance to come up and rack up a couple points unannounced. And that's what she's going to do.
Snuck right through.
Takes that inside line while nobody knows she's there.
Oh, they're still jostling that back there with AK Demented.
Multiplayer block being called just before the whistles were blown. Pippi Longstockings was issued the penalty. Oh, Mel Razor as well. We've got two penalties.
Blockers down. I think that's the most actually the Killa Bees have had in the box at one time. They've actually been doing really well on penalties.
We might even have one of them coming out. I think they both got the same multiplayer block call. So Mel Razor's been released.
Yeah.
And that means the Killa Bees are only going to be down one here as Reese, Mad Max, and Bangarang line up here. Malkery, Spasmani, and Devil and the Herminator are set up for the blockers for the Highway 14. Along with Devil and Tondre. Able to get out and take lead is the Bulldozers. Hurlwind coming in on the inside, going to try and get past. Ooh, Bangarang went down, kind of tripped up Hurlwind. Little bit of a shoulder pop there to Gnarly Quinn, who's jamming for the Killa Bees as Hurlwind goes down in the middle there. Now, a little bit of shoving match between Reese and Malkery.
Yeah, it's a little...
Mad Max and Bangarang going to try and hold back on the jammer.
You know, and that sometimes too, it's like if you can't get up there and help your jammer, well, you can help them by getting rid of at least one of those blockers.
Unfortunately, in the process, Mad Max was issued, I think it was a cut track penalty. She's going to go sit down. Malkery now for the Bulldozers issued a penalty. She's going to go sit down. We're down one blocker apiece. Getting through for 4 points. And calling off the jam as the Bulldozers were able to grab a couple more and take that lead as of now, 156 to 135.
I'm thinking it's getting colder in here.
It's getting, well, and you know, when there's a speed game like this, I've noticed, you know, in the past.
Oh, you get such a wind.
Oh, yeah, they create a little.
Yeah. Oof. Like even sitting in practice, if you end up being off skates or injured or whatever, it's like, it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's cold
you bring
watching.
Ooh,
yeah.
All right, the whistle's blown. Shock's going to be jamming now for the Bulldozers. Show me your hits, got the star, takes the inside, takes a foot out, catches it, so he goes back before he gets the cut track. Shock, however, was given a cut track penalty. Little bit of a bulldozer there as Calypso goes down with Show Me just behind. But now Show Me does have a power jam.
Show Me has lead. Show Me was just given lead.
So now he's bouncing around, takes out from the back there. Malkery came in. Or sorry, that wasn't Show Me, that was Darkville Duck that went down. Show Me skated through, grabbed 5 points.
Yes.
Looking at the wrong person, getting confused. Now, we did have a penalty issue to Man Destroyer. She's going to be sitting down as Show Me comes into that pack. Working Malkery there, trying to get past, not getting as far as you might like. Shock gets back on and comes in trying to grab a couple, but he was unable to grab any when that one was whistled down.
Pretty sure Shock was still cold there. And cold meaning that they haven't technically gotten their initial pass yet because he's got a penalty in his initial pass.
Was it on his initial pass?
It was on his initial pass.
There
he got
we
a
go.
penalty, so I'm pretty sure he was still on a not scoring pass.
Yes, you do. You do still have to complete the initial pass, regardless of whether you've gotten the penalty or not. It has to be completed.
Yes.
Scarlett O'Fira. No, yes, that is Scarlett O'Fira jamming for the Killa Bees, going up against A.K. Demented, who took a shoulder from Savage, but Savage was knocked out. Melrazor then tried to pop A.K. Demented, but Melrazor went down. Demented was able to get past.
There's a big pile up there. Everybody's falling.
Yeah, that second corner there seems to be grabbing some people. Now we lost Irish, one of the Killa Bees. The pivot for this one is going to go to the penalty box. A.K. Demented able to come through, grabs 5 points.
That is absolutely terrifying as a jammer when you see your pivot going to the box. It's like, oh no, my help is gone.
There goes your release for the star cover. AK with another apex jump, runs right into Melkery. Getting chased down by a man destroyer and Savage. Scarlett O'Fira takes that little hip bump from her. The Herminator knocks her to the outside, gonna reset. AK Demented calls that one off after she's able to grab another 2 points. Ooh-wee, what a, you know, I really can't say this enough. I've never seen so many apex jumps in one game. We're what, 13 minutes, 40 seconds left.
I mean, this is more of a B-level game too, right? Like, I mean, typically you see a lot of apex jumping in like very high-level derby, but not tonight.
No, they're going hard
tonight. They're getting a good show tonight.
It's fantastic. You're getting your money's, folks.
Absolutely.
And, you know, maybe you're in Barcelona watching this game or anywhere, you know. All you got to do is go to Shaw TV's Facebook page, Shaw TV Saskatoon on their Facebook. They're live streaming these games. We see it. We appreciate you watching.
Oh, jammer from Highway 14 is going to the box.
And that means if you're watching at home, you just saw that. Terror was able to take lead. Now with that power jam. Now her blocker's setting up for some offensive maneuvers there as they take the outside. Let her kind of plow in there, and they'll start trying to take him out. Death Knell is in there. Reese is in there. Irish in there trying to give her a hand. As Terror goes one-on-one with one of those blockers. Terror bounces from the inside to the outside. One-on-one again here with, who is that? That is 55.
And Leanderthal.
Terror was able to get past Leanderthal, so that's going to grab her 5 points. But A.K. Demented back on the track now. Has a little bit of a battle with Pippi Longstockings. Irish trying to throw her weight around there. As Terror comes back in there, she's going to try and take the inside. She's taking the outside. AK's taking the inside. AK knocked out by Pippi Longstocking, who's going to drag her back. Terror knocked to the inside. She's getting dragged around. Death Knell is trying to give her a little bit of help as Terror is able to get past those blockers. Grabs another 5 points. 5? I think it was 5 and calls it off.
Yeah.
AK Demented starting to look a little tired.
Those jammers are all looking a little tired.
The Bulldozers don't seem to have the depth in the roster chart for jammers quite as the Killer Bees do. We've seen quite a movement of jammers through there.
And that's one of our goals this year is developing everybody so everybody has a chance for every position to move up to Mindfox.
And there we go. We've got another official review here. You can see some of those players standing by the Al Anderson's jam line, trying to stay a little bit warm. Bulldozers here starting into a huddle. You know, a really big sponsor we have every year, past couple years for sure. And once again, they're here at our game today. Bad Girlfriend Skates. They're a brick and mortar roller skate shop out of Morinville, Alberta. Been in business since 2009. And the owner, Hoochie, who I've met a couple times. She's always at these events. She is awesome to work with.
Awesome. She was actually a skater too. I've actually had the pleasure of actually seeing her play once a couple years ago, and it was pretty cool to see her play because she hadn't for quite a few years, and they really needed some help. So she threw on her skates and skated again. But
and she's got no shortage of them, and that's one of the things that Bad Girlfriend Skates really strives for, is the fact that they're all their staff members are derby girls. They know the game. They know what you need.
They know the gear. They know,
and they've got stock. They've got lots of it right then and there. You need it, they got it. You know, you're not waiting online.
And then she also has her heat pressing too. So it's like, I forgot my jersey. You can quickly go buy a shirt. She can put your name and number on it for you in 5 minutes.
And she's always happy when you forget that stuff.
Absolutely. She loves it when you forget your jerseys at home.
So we just want to say we love Bad Girlfriend Skates, all they've done to help us out over the years. Now Dark Wheel Duck back on the track. He's going to be jamming. Herminator kicks him to the outside. He's forced to reset. Shock running on the inside, going up against Show Me Your Hits, was able to get past, so he's going to take that lead jam.
Ooh, big hit there from Duck on a Herminator.
We saw Duck
cute.
fly, now he's sending others flying.
Yeah, and it's funny because like you 9 times out of 10 you see somebody getting hit in derby and they stand up and grin from ear to ear and go, that was cool.
Shaw comes around into that out of that third corner, sorry, as he rolled into the fourth. He started putting his hands on his hip, called that jam over. And again, you know, we've had such a close game. We're 168, one for the Bulldozers, 152 for the Killa Bees with 11 minutes left. That is a very close game. That changes very, very fast.
Yeah.
You only need, with that score, one power jam, one good jam.
One good jam, and that's all it is. That's all it takes. And to make all you need is one good jam and 2 of their blockers in the box, and it's like, bam, there's 25-point jam. Wow, that was crazy.
AK Demented with some fancy toe stop work. They're running that outside track. Amanda Strayer tried to run her down, but wasn't quite able. Death Nella, I'm not even sure where she came from.
Where did she come from? Yeah.
She's
right on her
tail.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, so Death Nella is going to try the inside this time. Runs into Spasmanian Devil as AK Demented runs on the outside. Looks like Mel Razor's been issued a multiplayer block. So
and Nella's through with points.
Nella grabs her 4
look at that
points.
Smile.
Fantastic. Now we are down a blocker each. We just lost a blocker to the Bulldozers for a cut track violation, so we're going to start this one a little short on people. Looks like we're going to have Devil and Tondre, the Herminator, Malkery lining up here now, blocking for the Bulldozers, along with Irish, Pippi Longstocking, and Reese for our Killer Bees. Shock. He likes to line up quite a ways away from that Alan Anderson's jam line. He likes that running start.
I would agree with that. Every jammer is different. Some say if you're a squirrely jammer, stand there really quietly and pretend that you're just like not. And I mean, some need that run. You know, I like having a little bit of a run to get through.
And Shock uses that run effectively because once again, he's out in lead jam. He has shown that he is good at it today. But of course, not far on his heel is Show Me Your Hits as he comes running around that track.
And Show Me's going to call it off before Show Me gets there.
He was going to try and make a quick move around a set of hips, but he wasn't quite able there. And you can see both players in the penalty box there standing, and this is something we don't touch on very often because we don't see it, but when a player goes to the penalty box, they are instructed by an official as to which chair they're going to sit in and told they're going to be there for 30 seconds.
Correct. So at 20 seconds, they say color number stand. And it's kind of like the signal to like kind of give to the track or the other coaches that this player is going to be released from the box right away.
Hurlwind and Duck jamming right now. Duck was able to get out really quickly there. He grabs a quick lead jam. Hurlwind working her way through. Somewhere in the mix there, we lost a couple different blockers. They're now down. That's Bulldozers that are going to be short. Duck's able to grab 5 points. Hurlwind gets through, completes their initial pass. As Darkwheel Duck comes back here, he's only got 2 jammers. He does a little bit of a little slouch move under the arms and gets through. 10 points apart now as the Bulldozers are at 175, the Killa Bees at 165. 7 minutes left, 7.5 minutes left. Where you've got Scarlett O'Fura now lining up. Gonna go up against AK Demented now. Scarlett's gonna run that inside gauntlet. AK is gonna follow behind. Only gotta go against Malkery and Calypso, and Scarlett O'Fura was able to take that lead jam. And we got Savage is going to receive a penalty. That's gonna force him to go take a seat. AK Demented was able to complete, no, AK Demented did not complete their initial pass. They got 2 penalties.
Scott, yes.
So she's going to be sitting for a minute. That's going to give a 1-minute power jam now to the Killa Bees.
Was she already, I wasn't watching, did she already get lead jam?
I'm not aware, to be honest. No, Scarlett O'Fura has lead jam. Scarlett was able to come out first. So that means 1 minute now. Scarlett O'Fura has that lead jam situation and the power jam situation. Puts them in a very good spot. Savage released. He's going to return back to the track now, so hopefully full strength. They can get some teamwork and some offense. But Mad Max is going to receive a penalty, so she's going to be forced to sit this one out. Scarlett O'Fira knocked back. They're having a one-on-one with Mallory. Does the star pass to Irish. So Irish takes that star pass, but I think we have a... that's a little bit of trouble. So Scarlett O'Fira was giving a procedure call. Obviously initiated an improper star pass. She's forced to sit down, which means she has to retrieve that cover and sit down as the jammer.
Correct.
Irish is not able to take
Correct.
it and continue.
So what is how she ended up getting an illegal star pass is I believe Irish was down as they handed it to her. If they would have stood back up, if the Scarlett would have touched it, it would have been a completed pass. But because she didn't touch it again and Irish was down, she gets a legal procedure penalty.
Because you have to pass that star to an upright and in-play player.
Correct.
So that has allowed now AK Demented to make 2 laps around the track. She picked up 4 points the first time, 5 points the second time. So what should have been, or what could have been, an excellent opportunity for the Killa Bees ended up giving another 10 points to the Bulldozers.
And
Sorry,
sometimes
7 points to the Bulldozers.
And sometimes that happens. It just does not work out the way you hope it to.
Looks like we've got a little bit of communications here between the refs. Refs are still thinking, whistle blows, so time's up, it's time to go. The Herminator is going up against Dark Wheel Duck as he races by for lead jam. Shock right behind him. Show Me Your Hits was going to try and take him down. Now Show Me Your Hits and Death Knell are the only 2 blockers for the Killa Bees on the track. They're forced to put it together as there was a little bit of jammer on jammer action coming around that first corner. Amanda Destroyer back on the track, so she's going to move quickly. Irish as well. And now Dark Wheel Duck was able to get out as well as Shock, so they both pick up 4. But Dark Wheel Duck trying to keep an eye on Shock, making sure he doesn't get ahead of him. Going to try and bump him around a little bit.
And that's the thing is you can see jammers can hit jammers outside of what is called the engagement zone. So the engagement zone is 20 feet behind the pack and 20 feet in front of the pack. And it's only the jammers that can actually hit each other out of that that designated area.
And you could see in that last one, as soon as Shock got ahead of Dark Wheel Duck, that was it. He called it off.
Yep.
So now we're going to have Hurlwind going up against Bangarang. Both teams now back up to full strength. Gnarly Quinn, Reese, Pippi Longstockings, and Melraiser. Melraiser right away goes up and lays a hit on Leanderthal. Multiplayer block given to Vintage Vixen of the Bulldozers. While I'm busy looking at that, Bangarang gets through, takes lead jam. Now we have another multiplayer block being issued. Bangarang comes in, takes a little bit of a whip off the jersey of Pippi Longstockings. That multiplayer block that I was referring to was to Gnarly Quinn, so now both teams are down a blocker. As Bangarang comes around for her next scoring pass. Still trying to get through. Hurlwind's not getting very far against Pippi Longstockings and Reese.
That is one thing Pippi Longstocking has actually come a long way in this last year. She, I believe, was fresh meat last year, and she's really found her feet this year. I'm very happy for her to be finding her feet that way.
Hurlwind was able to successfully break out of the pack, but not soon enough as Bangarang was able to come through, grab another set of points, and call that one off. Now, Gnarly Quinn is going to be standing, so she won't have a whole lot of time left on her penalty, but there was a clockwise block violation issued to one of the Bulldozers, number 5'5", Leanderthal, so she's going to start this one in the box. That's going to leave only Melkry, the Herminator, and I can't quite see the second there. That's the third one, Spasmanian Devil.
Oh, Spaz.
But I think we're going to have an official review here. The refs are all headed to the huddle. Maybe not. Sometimes the refs just need a breath. Make sure everything is tickety-boo. Now that they seem confident in that, we're going to get back at the action. Show Me Your Hits, jamming up against AK Demented. A little bit of a slower start here. Scarlett O'Fira is going to try and take the inside and stop AK. AK moves from there to the outside, goes past Mad Max, takes on Savage. Savage knocks her out, but he goes over top of her. Show Me Your Hits was working against Devil Entendre, but gets through. So that gives lead jam opportunities now for AK Demented. Show Me right behind her. And as soon as Show Me got up to her hips, she started taking it out. And you can see the smile there as she kind of tagged him a little bit. Both of them having a little chuckle with that play. Oh, holy smokes. You know, I've been too busy watching Derby, not busy enough looking at the score. We got 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Bulldozers 189, Killabees 187. A timeout or an official review, possibly. Official review has been called now.
Gosh, that's a close score.
2 points away with just under 1.5 minutes left.
Yes, and the juniors prior to this actually had a very close game as well.
They finished within 2 points as well on their game.
Yes.
This is, holy smokes, this is fantastic. Oh, I'm cold, but I'm sitting in my seat and I'm still just shivering, and I think it's excitement now. This is fantastic.
So I'm sitting here trying to get my things on for the next game.
It's been fantastic. And you know, and something we really want to thank too is Shaw TV, who obviously is gracious enough to allow us to be talking to you today and broadcasting this out to the world and all our fans and friends all over the place. And for anybody that's just tuned in, you know, we really want to thank Shaw. They started helping us broadcast last year, and we could not be more happy with the work we've had with them and how helpful they are. And they've really helped us transition into this broadcast very, very, very easily. So really big thank you to Shaw TV. As well, another good sponsor, very, very good sponsor, is Kaizen Therapeutic Massage, who, it just happens, tend to show up at our games with these wonderful massage tables they set up, and our skaters can go and get a little looser after some of these hard-hitting games and keep them ready to roll for the next one.
It's if you intend to play derby for an extended period of time, you need to see a chiropractor regularly and a massage therapist regularly. Otherwise, you're not going to be in the sport for very long.
So Kaizen Therapeutic Massage has found a very good home here, as we are very, very happy to have them.
SRDL keeps them busy.
And one other sponsor we'd definitely like to thank this year is the City of Saskatoon, who is sponsoring our 2018 Fresh Meat program. Our new skater intake, as we spoke earlier, is on the April 14th and 15th. It is completely free. We provide you with all the gear you need. It's a drop-in event, 18 plus. We do require ID just for insurance reasons to make sure everything is all good to go. And as you've noticed on the track today, we've got men, women, we've got all genders, all diversities. We are very inclusive. We welcome anybody that wants to come out. And like I said earlier, it's not just for the players. Future referees are needed. Future officials are needed.
Absolutely,
future talkers, announcers, people like me. Hey, let's say you like to talk to yourself some days. It's what I do out here. So, you know, anything you want, come check it out. We'd be more than happy to have you. But let's talk about on the track. Dark Wheel Duck running hard through the center. Knocked to the inside. He's forced to reset. Death Neller gained a penalty, going to the penalty box. Vintage Vixen gained a penalty, going to the penalty box. Dark Wheel Duck trying to break through, just completes his initial pass, but Shock was able to take lead. He's coming up behind the pack, unobstructed. Nobody knew he was there on the outside. He's going to grab a quick and easy 4 points. Now Dark Wheel Duck coming back up to that pack, trying to work through. Irish in there with a little bit of work. A couple bodies hit the floor. Everybody's on the floor. They're all smiling as they get up. There was some movement there as Dark Wheel Duck comes through, grabs 4. Shock not far behind him, grabs another 4. Death Nella comes running onto the track now. She's going to try and play a little bit of defense. Dark Wheel Duck knocked to the inside, forced to reset. Coming back, Shock is being pushed around by Irish, who's standing right in the way. Irish gets a penalty. So Irish is going to go sit down as Shock goes by. Grabs his 5 points, calls the jam off.
And I think that is the game.
Not quite. We got 20, 17, 16, 15 seconds left. And the game does not end necessarily when the score clock ends. If the next jam starts fast enough,
good job,
the
Bonnie.
game goes on.
You can see the coach over there actually called a timeout. So when you call a timeout in the last 30 seconds of the game, there is automatically another 2-minute jam, no matter whether the clock runs out.
It works this way because if the score clock is at 1 second left and the jam starts and the score clock ends, it doesn't matter. The jam time clock is the one
that counts. Yeah.
So if there's 2 minutes left on that, both jammers get a penalty, let's say, and they both come back to the track. We've gotten a lead jammer. That means that last jam, even though the time has been up already is going to go that full
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, we're at 192, 198. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to make a whole lot of change here. This game can go any direction.
And you'll see sometimes with teams is they'll put like they call it a power line out or things like that. They'll put their strongest jammer, they'll put their strongest blockers to ensure they get their points. And
it'll be interesting to see the lines that come out for this one, especially on the Killer Bees, who've had a very rotating line.
yeah,
And we can see them coming out now. Darkwheel Duck, Gnarly Quinn, and Mel Razor set up as
See, they
blockers.
put
Darkwheel Duck with the pivot, and Show Me Your Hits with the Jammer Star, going up against Shock, the both of them there with that little fist bump.
Me.
We've got Melcree lined up for the Bulldozers with Leanderthal and 725. AK Demented now going to be wearing the pivot star. Show Me right now in front, working against Malcree and AK Demented. Knocked to the inside, he's going to reset. Now he's going up against Leanderthal. Not getting very far. Shock is working hard. Shock has been giving the cut track penalty. That means Show Me Your Hits is the only jammer on the track.
Oh my goodness!
Show Me Your Hits. If he can do this, he's got a good chance of pulling this lead away. He's going to have to work hard. He's down to 2 blockers, but there's only 3 blockers on the track for the Bulldozers. Bulldozers picking up a little bit of speed. Show Me Your Hits comes in right up against Leanderthal. Darkwheel Duck comes around for the hit on Melcree.
So
that allows
5.
Show Me Your Hits to come around. He picks up 5 points. Show Me's got some speed as he comes around that corner. Darkwheel Duck, Irish, and Gnarly setting up. Herminator back on the track. Herminator tries to step up against him, but he doesn't quite catch Show Me. Show Me takes the outside track, pulls around, puts his hands on his hips.
No, that's
And if my math is correct,
here's to hoping the scorekeeper's added correctly.
let's find out here. You can see the Killer Bees are cheering already.
This is pretty exciting for the Killer Bees because we don't come to win, we come to play. So I'm pretty sure this is probably the first game the Killer Bees have actually won in a year or so.
And what's really crazy yet is the fact that this is not the official score. We have to wait until the officials do their tallies, do the math, and add it up. So we're just waiting right now for that official score to come out. What a fantastic game. You could not ask for a better game to watch than this. This was absolutely fantastic. Whistles blow, the officials given, and the Killer Bees are your winners. 202 to the Highway 14 Bulldozers, 198. What an absolutely fantastic roller derby game. Chesty, we couldn't ask for any better.
I'm like that missing the high fives.
What an absolutely fantastic game. We're going to roll through some highlights. Ooh, some big hits. We've got bodies going to the floor on that second corner. There we go. That's Scarlet Ophira trying to knock out Shock. Shock, he had such a fantastic game. He did a lot of jamming today.
Crazy, yeah.
AK Demented working up against there. Scarlet Ophira jamming on that one, just bumping and grinding against each other. Oh, with that little apex jump. Darkwheel Duck busting in there going, ooh, that big hit on the Herminator. There we go, tiptoeing on that line. That was some fantastic work by AK Demented. And there we go, Darkwheel Duck and Shock once again, those two. That was a lineup we saw a lot tonight. What fantastic game. And just everybody did absolutely amazing today. Ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't have asked for a better day. We really appreciate everybody coming out and watching. The Killer Bees, your victors today, 202. The Highway 14 Bulldozers, 198. My name is Fat Boy.
And I'm Trusty LaRue.
And thank you very much for watching.